Oh man, it seems like Snowball is the key.
Yep.
We're going into Sky Temple, guys, and this is a Snowball map for sure. And
Snowball map,
it's a pick from Tempest, and first pick for Miracle. I wonder if they will keep Hanzo open because it seemed evidently that Gunza is very good at skill shot heroes. Non-target skill shot heroes. Maybe just giving Hanzo to him. Sniper, his false set was great. I can't say great, but he was good in terms of joining and using the flight, not really getting caught. He almost got caught, but had just used the gust. He didn't die. That's the most important thing. Sniper was okay, but Gunza, I think they really have to focus. I think the entire team has to really focus on him and give him the room and the space to really do all that damage. I think that's a good way of having Miracle building on in the meta.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Miracle will pick a more formidable, stable composition this time around, because like you mentioned, this is such a big Snowball map. So, if they do, the iffy-jiffy picks like they did in the first game, that's definitely not going to work out. And they already experienced what happens when they do that up against Tempest. So, we'll have to see if they go with the more obvious or stable pick this time around.
Well, let's see. First ban, they're already considering. Even Avatar's a good start just to have a throw. But oftentimes if Avatar is banned, the other team just bans Hanzo instead, because Genji, if Genji does not pair up with Uther, has a pretty low win rate in Korea especially. So that's one of the things. Avatar, 1 win, 1 loss, 17 bans in Korea only, from what I know.
That means, like, just from the statistics, 1 win, 0 loss, that's 100% win rate with 17 bans. So officially, if Avatar isn't banned, the team with Avatar wins. Even though it's just one.
Well, let's see. We're seeing the same thing over again. Genji Hanzo ban along with Greymane. It's the picks on Sonya and Ubarak. It's basically
so you took away
now.
You took away Greymane. We're gonna take away Sonya. A noob, obvious, such a solid frontline tank. So they take that. So, like you mentioned, you take that, we'll take this. It's just, such a, they're sharing.
And when I believe, but do not correct me if I'm wrong, guys. We're playing on a Blaze,
the patch,
Blaze balanced patch starting next week. And Blaze is allowed, it's enabled, but it's just she's just not coming out too many times. Once yesterday and once the day before, maybe once today. Let's see. I believe we're playing on a different patch starting next week. Maybe we'll get to see that new Tyrael, and Tyrael just rise up super high along with the Nubarak, because we just have a Nubarak and ETC sometimes, Merdin Leoric coming out.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see now. Even though they are sharing the picks, they do take Uther and Avatar. Wow, alright. They do take Avatar. We'll see how Miracle wants to work this around. It's such a big map, and Avatar keeping track of all that XP and going back and forth. They might. I think they have the first 3 picks for Miracle are pretty solid, I have to say.
Okay, that was the reason why they did not ban Avatar from the beginning. Also, in terms of dive, and it gives so much strength into the solo lane against Sonya, because Sonya will just pressure against you very, very hard. Whatever the pick is, Dehaka, Leoric cannot really contest so well against Sonya. But with the Avatar hat, it's going to be okay. But instead, this time of taking away the false stat, going to ban it out.
Yeah, they're gonna just, let's just not play the global. We have Avatar already. We have that global. We have the lane experience advantage already. So, we're just gonna ban false stat out, and Tempest in response takes Rehgar away, and that Rehgar actually performed so well last game, going back and forth, annoying the backline and healing. So we'll have to see if what Miracle will respond.
Well, we both have the mechas in the 3rd pick locked. Well, Tempest, they're keeping with the very same ones. Whenever Hanzo's open, that was not the case. Of course, Brightwing came in yesterday once, but Rehgar is already chosen, so And Sonya is there, so in terms of global, I don't think they're focusing on global at all today. I think they're really going towards that team fight, which they always used to do.
Alright, so
Grey main against Cassia kind of shared.
Yeah, going back and forth. You know, Uthar and Rhaegar has stayed with Anubarak on the same side. With Grey main, Cassia, and Sonya have switched places. The last two picks for Miracle. We'll see if they are going to stick with that more stable composition.
Let's see if Tempest wants to bring Jaina once more. I think they're really working on mages a lot.
Yeah.
They already have a solid front line with Nubarak and Sonya diving in with a little bit more damage. Cassia can also dive in along with them.
Okay.
It's gonna provide a lot more solo lane power with Avatar Hat onto Marteo. And a Moradin for the finish. I think overall this is a lot better of a team comp compared to game number 1 for Miracle.
Definitely, definitely. They do have such a strong team comp right now, even with because they have Avatar. We'll see if I don't know. Right now, so far, I'll have to see what they pick Tempest for their last pick. But if they do bring out Jaina, Jaina's gonna have a hard time this time around, for real, because they do have the Grey main on Miracle's side with Avatar and Uther. So, you know, you said, you know, Jaina worked out very well in the first round, but in this second round, with the picks that the Miracle have picked, I don't think Jaina will.
What is this? Provius? Well, Provi came out when back Duk Duk was held on this map, especially, but without Duk Duk, I don't think Provi is an answer.
No, I'm very okay. Jaina once again. Okay.
I do miss that Prov though. Beep beep. Beep beep.
But yeah, I'm gonna call. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the new guy calling out the wrong calls. But I'm gonna say this game, Jaina is gonna have a harder time, definitely, compared to the first round. Even though Miracle did have the Tyrael and the dive-ins, Jaina really didn't have so much trouble doing the burst damage. But this time around, Jaina is gonna be different from the first game.
Adding the latest game with game number 1, I think Jaina is now 4-0.
Wow.
1 ban in Korea.
Okay.
Jaina very used in global, even in EU, and also Tychus. So I think we're settling into a meta where we have lots of DPS transitioning into Tychus instead of Bala. And instead of Li Ming, and we are having lots of burst damage down with Jaina here. Bringing the slow with the chills.
Yep.
Here we go with Miracle Tempest game number 2. So we have all 10 ready. Let's see how well Sniper goes around with Avatar. I think it's going to be mostly focusing on to solo lane. So H82 has an easier time working against Good, who's on Sonya on the top lane.
5, 4.
Yeah, and I repeatedly mentioned that Miracle's pick this time around was so much better compared to the first game. So first game the level difference wasn't that big until the end, where Tempest didn't allow any advantages or any mistakes per se. Making no mistakes against Miracle was just, we'll have to see with if Miracle is able to do the same with the solid composition for the Teamfight composition they have brought out for game 2.
Of course, empowering Marteo. Sonya is backing up a little bit, and when you have the Muradin, or when you are against Muradin, you have to really be careful or look for that time for the gank onto the top lane especially. It may actually destroy you if you're not really cautious of what's happening around the map. The map awareness, that's the biggest difference between the top community teams and the bottom community teams right now. And how they control the site, usually the tank player in here for Tempest, of course, Sign and Judy for Miracle. They're always standing in the bush on the side or in the front because they can also survive even if they get caught.
Yep, and
the best tanks positioning right there.
So we have everybody on the camps. The obvious moves they make is Tempest. Do they want to bother them a little bit early game? Not too much. They are going back
because Miracle has Avatar.
Yeah.
Martial actually had an okay laning to start off. Sonya clearing their extra wave, and meanwhile using that time to take control of the camp. Miracle's off to a very good start. That's how they usually start. They usually lead the game. Oftentimes they bring an okay draft, but in the middle, and they start to fall slow, and then their shot call is not perfectly wide. Maybe it's the focus, maybe it's the communication that we don't know, but oftentimes that's what happens in Miracle. Let's see if that problem has been fixed. But after watching Game 1, I think they need to work it out a little bit more. Game 2, with a better draft, maybe they can do it this time.
Yeah, and you know, this time around, Miracle not allowing Tempest to take one of their camps like they did in Game 1. You know, trading camps, going back and forth. This is how early games should be, but you know, in Game 1, Tempest was just snowballing everything throughout the game, even at the start of the game.
With Avatar.
Alright.
To chunk some damage, but Cassia is still staying bot. Seems like Tempest wants to only trade a temple. Try to really focus on the bottom lane for the next phase of temples, as the top 2 temples are coming up in very soon.
Alright.
Tommy pressured in a little bit, doing about half the damage onto the turret. Leaving the top lane open, okay. Cassia still staying at the bottom. Maybe they're really looking into the bigger picture here, as Miracle not really going to contest at all.
Yeah, they are just, you know, taking one temple each. We have Avatar at bot, you know, getting that experience. A nice trade. They're sharing, like they did with the pigs.
They're sharing around.
Yeah, they're sharing.
Of course, temple, usually you don't get to take both of the first phase.
Oh.
Okay, actually, Judy. I thought his Dwarf jump was almost, Dwarf toss was almost cancelled by the CC, but it was not. So, but the thing is, meanwhile, Cassia has been working on the bottom lane. The next phase of Temple, which is the bottom one only, it's not going to be the same unless Miracle really catches up to EXP. I think it's going to be about as when they hit 9 and Tempest is going towards level 10, and then level 10 hits, of course Miracle will not have a chance to compete against them. See, this world's already open, so single turret right before the fort. Their mission is the fountain. The fountain's a big one.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll see. Sonya staying up at top. Miracle making their way down, but they are just, you know, Muradin's buying time for his team to get their camp comfortably.
They're focusing on they did an early camp because they wanted to rotate up later and then took in the extra EXP because Sonya was already there. But that doesn't really help them catch up in the rotation in the big picture. Tempest was already on top. They started it first, so they can actually get that later too.
Yep. And here we go. We got the 2 camps, the 2 golems fighting. But you know, even with Avatar, you know, Miracle being down, the inexperience, you know, it just shows how Tempest, the map awareness and the way they rotate, not giving up any experience, Miracle somehow needs to, you know, step up the game.
But look at this, and Miracle, looking at their comp, they don't have too much poke. If Tempest, they're allowed to just poke in and out all the time, they're just going to be pushed over time unless they find the big hole to come in for the burst damage. Miracle really not having too much poke, which means Tempest can take that advantage and take the health bars out of the fort, all the structures, all the heroes, the merc camps. I think that's going to happen over and over again. Glad that this is not a Tars of Doom game for Miracle. In that case, they can never retreat their bell tower back.
Yeah, and you know, Tempest, they, like you said, they have that, you know, composition where they can hit and run, go in and out and kite. Whereas, you know, Miracle, to be honest, they have to have a team fight where they can fully commit and come out on top. But if this happens right now, they have to just run back and they can't kite. Now they're just, you know, getting pushed back.
Tempest was on top.
Yeah.
And because they don't have to put too much onto the bottom temple because they have 10, Miracle not even close to 10. Well, somewhat, but still, Miracle was trying to use that time to push the middle lane. And Tempest knew that was happening, read the rotation, knew they were coming up on top or the mid lane. So they were defending it. They did even more damage and Miracle got nothing out of it. So making the other team waste a lot of time, not really making it effective. Tempest is doing all that. Just experienced team,
Yeah.
Knowing what Miracle is going to do, I think we're just seeing outplays of the class here.
Yeah, the mind games and the outplays and the map reads and, you know, what the opponent is going to do. And there we go. This is not, you know, something that Miracle wants, but he does go in. They are committing. Going in. Anubis looking for an
getting
angle.
that shield, but with the ancestral dam, he's never going to die. Here comes the dive coming in from Sign. Lone actually coming in a little bit too late, coming out from Sniper. If he came in at the right time, I think could have got Dami in a way.
Yeah.
But Sonya's already out of the team fight, already soaking in extra EXP. This fort is going down. Maybe Tempest wants to force this one out a little bit more. Making it a 4v3 right here, and then going into Grey Main, also Luther. Trying to do. Sonya comes up from the bottom. That's going to be a cleanup there.
Yeah, that's
on to the chase. Luther is the first one. Luther actually survives.
All right, just one pick off. But still, that one pickoff is gonna do harm. It's too big for Miracle. They, like I said, they have to have a team fight where they can fully commit and come out on top. They can't do an iffy jiffy team fight where, you know, oh, are we gonna commit or not? And you know that's what happens. You get picked off if you can't decide and fully commit.
Well, intentionally they showed Sonya in the mid lane, and then they made her rotate up right after Miracle, knowing that Sonya was at the bottom. They pushed in because the fort's health. I want to take a look at the health part of the top fort again. Maybe it was like less than 10%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Miracle wanted to really go in aggressive in that way. Tempest knew that, took advantage, and they were the ones diving in after 13.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Miracle, I think they were. I can't say they were greedy for it because they really need to chase down right now. The gap is getting bigger. Tempest is doing all the right moves. What do we do as Miracle? We just try to do what we have to do, but it's not working at the time. I think they will be super frustrated right now.
Yeah, but they are working on it. It seems like from game one, they are learning from their mistakes. At least they got, you know, somewhat of a more solid team comp this time around, and they are 2 levels ahead. Tempest.
Well, as we just have a merry-go-around ending, who's your favorite hero?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, right now on screen, the Jaina should personally be my favorite.
Aha.
That is
Jaina your waifu.
my waifu. I wish. I wish. I wish.
Well, let's see, Jaina.
I do have a lot of skins for her.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when I'm playing solo queues, you know, just because the subject is out there, I never get such, you know, room to do the damage.
Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, look at Lockdown. He's in the front line alone when the entire team is escaping already.
Yeah.
That's how confident he is. He knows that the pressure is just not there right now for Miracle.
Definitely. And, you know, the confidence is there, obviously, but he also trusts his teammates to come back and back him up just in case. So, yeah. We'll see.
Boss. It's a big risk, Tempest.
Yeah.
Unless they have a team wipe or at least 2-3 men down from the other side. I don't think they should even commit. Of course, there is a level difference that can be caught up with a single boss with a single team fight mistake. We used to see a lot more aggressiveness coming out from Tempest. They have changed. They really have changed. It's like 2018. Okay, what's our New Year's resolution? Okay, don't be aggressive. Let's not try to team fight every single time. And it actually turned.
It's not looking. It's looking good.
Much better as Sign's the main shot caller of the team. He got married. Maybe he found his stable life here as he's doing the same in the game.
He got the waifu.
He's got the real wife.
Yeah, the real wife. Yeah, he does. So, you know, since we're on the subject, who's your favorite hero that is on in this game right now?
Here, I love Sonya. Sonya's still very good.
Wife.
Even after the Poison Spear nerf, I think Sonya is still pretty strong. Not as much, but still very solidly.
All I heard from that sentence was Sonya is pretty. Sonya is pretty.
Strong.
No, I think Sonya is pretty.
She's strong. Yes.
I
a strong woman. Zarya, Sonya, and yes.
Zarya, Sonya. What about Cassia? Don't leave her out.
I'm more of a bow Amazon guy from Diablo 2.
Okay, you're not the javelin.
No.
Okay.
More of a bow and.
I was the.
That was my thing in Diablo 2.
Guided arrow. Multi-arrow.
Yes.
Linears, here we go.
F2, F3. Here we go. HGC getting...
Oh.
Well, that almost looked like a jump off from an Uberock.
Yeah, we have Judy right there camping to see if there's an
Yeah,
angle for him to go
We
in.
call that Muradin Bush, but he goes in. Already cleansed, lockdown.
Oh, but not looking good for Muradin.
HGC comes in with the waves. Doing the damage, but who's gonna pick up the kill? Greymane comes in, and that's gonna be their first kill actually. Only 2 kills in this game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the third one onto Sonya. Nicely done. Muradin actually got a lot of the aggro out, and H82. He has been known with his solo lane hero a lot. They caught up in the XP now, and Tempest. Yeah, let's see what kind of move they make. Maybe try to go for the tempo lockdown. I think he's thinking about it.
And this is definitely what kind of team fight that Miracle needs. Muradin Bush, as you mentioned, he was there, cut off from his teammates, and you know that just shows that if all of Tempest, they probably wouldn't have done that. But if they did focus on Muradin, he would have been cut off, he would have been picked off, died, and that just shows the positioning of Muradin shows that Miracle is gonna commit with that tempo fight just now, and they actually came out victorious, getting the boss as well.
It was nicely done. Yeah. And Muradin, because he was bothering a lot of the members.
Yeah.
Cassia was left alone. Greymane went in for the kill. HG2 did his job there. He can basically be unstoppable with the 13 talent there. So I think they have the tools, but even with the boss, they just got the core. Now the game's about as even. Let's see how they rotate up. As even Avatar is coming out from the keep to actually try to rush the lane as soon as possible.
Yeah, he is out the door. The worm is squiggling out, and here once again at mid. Oh, Jaina.
Folks, probably did Jaina finish her quest? Maybe not, maybe already.
Probably.
Of course, I think by this time she should be, because there has been lots of team fights. Of course, not as many kills. It seems very evident that. See, we're just having the merry-go-round rotation coming out from both teams.
Jaina's working her way down by herself. She is going for that, Jaina.
There's not much to cake. There's no camps to control. Only thing you can do is try to pressure into lanes a little bit.
Yep.
And okay, seems like we're gonna have a party here.
Yeah, we are gonna have a party at top in front of the door. Here we go. Jaina is making her way out very slowly. They're gonna have to wait a little bit until Jaina gets there. Anouk goes in.
That's only a Muradin. Who do you cocoon here, as Sign is asking? Do I really have to? The cocoon has not been landing on Uther too much. Yeah. I think they were looking for the chance, and also H82 does not go in until that cocoon is out. So they're basically just having that mental war between the two, between the Nubarak, Uther, and H82's Martel. They're going in because you can't really go in without that shield. And just waiting for the cocoon timing to be off.
All right, we'll see. Tempest and Miracle get the camp. And there we go, Anouk's done.
He's gonna burrow charge out of there as both camps. Avatar is going to push the bottom lane a little bit.
Oh, Muradin jumps in!
Right in here as Sign is looking for that angle from the other side. Gets an Ancestral, but the Sniper's clone comes in, does get the shield.
Oh, Jaina's health not looking good.
To be weird one on this one already used. Oh, this time Bastami is going down. Tempest, entire team of Tempest actually on to run here.
Yeah.
As Gunda's doing the cleanup duty.
Yep. Yeah, so they fully committed.
Sign can actually buy some time. She's actually at least buying time.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay.
Burrow charge, yes.
Oh, yes.
He's actually, this is like a chase.
Chase of the year. Around the world. But yeah. Alright, this is gonna give Miracle both the tempos. And they have turned the game around. And there hasn't been many team fights, and every team fight they had so far, the big ones, Miracle has committed and they came out on top, victorious. Maybe Tempest just needs to go back to their old selves and play it aggressive and not give any room for their opponents to think.
I didn't really catch because of of course, there were a lot going on. Didn't really catch Cocoon going into Uther. Maybe Uther might have used the Divine Shield right before the Cocoon went in. Or Divine Shield may have just canceled the Cocoon from coming in because there is that slight projectile delay to actually hit the target. Sun really needs to start the Cocoon early and make their own initiating. When Miracle is always pushing in, Tempest tries to always push it, counter it back in a way. Which will be a tougher thing to do, I guess. But yeah, sometimes you just have to make your own initiating with the Cocoon. Right now, Miracle keeping it together this time, as I was mentioning, after 15 minutes, after 13 minutes, they slowly fall behind the rotation. They make some crazy mistakes, and it just becomes game. But this game, they're showing a different game here.
Yeah, they are. They are learning from their mistakes. They are staying calm, even though the first game was lost. And it was such a obvious loss, to be honest, for Miracle in game 1. But this time around, they were always behind Tempest, but they didn't lose hope. They stayed calm, and they were able to win 2 team fights, allowing them to be a level up ahead, getting 2 temples.
Ooh, getting this game will be a huge change in this game. Miracle was on top, and Tempest realized it's a little bit too late. Unless they get to punish, Muradin's toss was cancelled. But they have the shield available. May not. Doesn't even need it. Just pops that avatar. That's enough. Ball lightning actually continuing forever if you stay together. So that's not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Miracle got to keep what they wanted. Tempest could not punish them for it, not even a single kill.
Yeah. And they cancelled Muradin's jump, but he was successfully able to run out. And the middle keep, if you see it, it's the same health as the top. They can just, maybe just cough on it a little bit and it'll go down.
Now Miracle has a huge advantage in the rotation. Of course, one team fight can actually end the entire game. But when you have an upper hand in the rotation, you don't need to risk anything. That's the thing. So they're taking it slowly. They know this boss. If you lose the entire team fight, this may just be the game-ending boss.
I don't know. This I think at this point, Tempest needs to go back to their old self, and even though they are down right now, they have to make that aggressive move and hope for the best. Get a pick off, win a team fight, because the temples are out. They are shining.
Here we go.
The middle
double temple
is down. There we go. They only have the last one at the bot. All right, here we go.
Pushing in onto Sign.
This may be the last team fight.
As still, Tempest is going around because their ancestral cooltime is not back yet. 10 more seconds until that comes back. So they need to fall back slowly. But Miracle's going to come in. Muradin jumps in. Good, actually dives into Greymane. That's going to be one duel on the left side. But Muradin is the first one to fall. Even Divine Shielded. Greymane not going to find few kill. Tempest just wrecking Miracle with that 1v1. Starting with that duel and just positioning the... And having that ancestral right after the cooldown was the most important thing for Tempest.
Yeah, and the timing, exactly when Muradin jumps in, Greymane was getting, marked by two of Tempest's guys, unable to do anything but run away until he died. So, that timing when, communication is very important. It's like, if Muradin goes in, everybody has to be in position to actually follow up. But Greymane was unable to do that, and Tempest may just, this might be it.
Also, the ball lightning was just doing constant damage, unending damage. Jaehyun tries to act. Let's take a look at this. The damage actually going in so much more for... This is a good race, but we have to... No, the game did not end yet! I think Miracle... Yes, of course.
All right.
Oh, goodness.
Jeez.
Goodness, okay. Okay, guys, Tempest took game 2. That was...
All right.
On hectic with an Uther.
Yeah.
Guys, hold on. Do not be upset.
Hold your horses.
I'm keeping myself together, guys.
I almost hit the table.
Yes. They had lots of catapults coming from the top lane as they got the keep.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Miracle.
Yeah.
Had Luther pushing, but Luther, of course, does not do any damage. Barely any damage. 1% possibly with the basic attack. So, Tempest did win, guys. Even though we kind of did not see the ending, only for a split second. The production was may have thought that this was just the team wipe and then the end of the game. But the catapults, along with Luther, actually did so much damage to the core. Tempest will lead 2-0.
Yeah, it will. And you know, if you mentioned Uther going at it at the Nexus, he actually got it down to 14% in the end when you know their Nexus went down to 0. It was actually a good try, but as long the game could have been a miracle if it wasn't Uther at the Nexus.
Oh my goodness! I don't think we ever had this.
And you know, I was actually looking at the minimap where when Tempest was going all in for the Nexus, and I was thinking at that split moment, it's like, why are they doing this? Because Uther is at their Nexus with all the catapults like you mentioned, and he's actually giving it all. But you know, Tempest, everybody being alive.
Yeah, they have everyone,
yeah,
and the last team fight was excellent. It's Cassia able to do all that damage. Sonya was 1v1, already got the spear onto Greymane, so Greymane started that duel with 50% less health there. So I think that was one of the biggest one. Yeah. Also, Uther had to use the Divine Shield for Greymane, which Greymane was just trying to escape from the team fight and then got the shield. What do you do? Do you really go in? Can you really do any more damage? But meanwhile, the team fight was already over from Cassia alone onto the bottom right side of the temple there. So that was the last team fight. Miracle actually had a great coming back into this game, hitting 21st instead, but really trying to have that pressure in. But oh man.
Yeah, and you know, I just remember you mentioning during the game where, you know, if you have the lead, you don't have to force a fight. You can play it calm. And especially for Miracle, having 2 keeps down, they didn't have to commit so hard at that last team fight where Muradin goes in. And, you know, I understand Muradin had a very good angle for to start the initiation. But right when that happened, the Greymane getting, you know, picked off and getting marked by 2 of Tempest's dealers, unable to do anything for that whole team fight, splitting up Miracle's team in half, you know, made, even with that Muradin initiate, the perfect initiate, it split up the team, made them lose the game.
Yeah, Sonya was the key in that last team fight. And that's going to be it for game number 2. And Tempest, with taking that victory, making the series 2-0, can they actually get one more and close this down with a 3-0? Or maybe it's time for Miracle to come back in the series. But we're going to take a short commercial break, guys. We'll be back in 5 minutes.